about those? No. But believe me, there are two cases in Kennedy Public School of Howard University. There are cases both on Apuat, and there are cases. There's a case in this hospital. They are talking about that because they're not interested in those people who just take the life as it is and just become a part of it, a passive part of it, and do nothing in their life. They are concerned about those people who really shook the world and in directions nobody could have expected. If you meet with these people, Dr. Ahmed Speech was just visiting KSBL 2 days ago, and you would not associate the kind of success he got with that personality. This is a humble guy. Student like a Sarkari officer, He was working on that project way back when I used to be at LUMS, and I was part of their visioning exercise. Nobody knew of what then. And whenever he meets me, Dr. Saab, आपने तो हमें तब पहचाना, तब सहारा दिया जब मैं कोई नहीं पहचानता। मैं क्या कुछ बात इतनी मेरी कर रहे हैं? मुझसे 10 साल उम्र में बड़े, right? So what I'm talking about is that we have to change the entire perspective, the way we look at things, right? Now, let me give you an example. You might have heard about that. Within a year, we are going to have, regardless of what these predictors say, what these experts say, we are going to craft our own future. We are going to talk about, we are going to have 100% literacy rate by the end of this year. By the end of this year. By the end of this year, we are going to have 100% literacy rate. Now, strategy comes in. If this is what we are going to achieve, things are going to be different. That means the university graduates, they have to take off 1 year. They have to do something else. They cannot be here all the time. So university graduates, factory workers, teachers, they disembark on a journey of achieving their destination within a year. How did they achieve it? Number one, 13,000 factory workers were mobilized. 15,000 teachers took up the leadership and looked at the organization part of the whole movement. 100,000 students, different levels, O levels, A levels, university, they left and they headed to the rural areas. Something that was considered to be a miracle. 100% literacy rate. Within a year, they were able to achieve 96% literacy rate, which by far beats the literacy rate even in the developed countries. So what is needed is to have a vision that you would make people believe in, that this is what we are, and when people actually they want it badly, and they believe that they can get it. Now, if I had a board, इससे तस्वीर खत्म की जा सकती है? तो मैं इसमें कुछ लिख सकता हूँ। मैं वैसे लिख सकता हूँ। Would this right?
You can write it. Okay.
That's a smart one.
You can write.
That's fine. Again, we circle here. That program, the intake by the time I was leaving LUMS became 120, and the next year 240, and now a couple of my colleagues are visiting KSBL from LUMS. They told me that it has now become 320 every year. 320 times 4, as opposed to 50 times 4, and times the LUMS fee. LUMS undergrad fee. It's a huge source of revenue. LUMS is certainly reeling in money. Now, this is the solution for me. When I told the board here, again, very secret, confidential. Board मुझे पकड़ के मारेगा अगर मैं पता चलेगा मैं public में बातें कर रहा हूँ. Board ने कहा जी, Dr. Zeeshan, no. We are a group of companies. हमारी board companies में Engro है, Habib है, Al-Fala Bank है. हमारी companies में जानवी सिद्दीकी, मुनव्वर सिद्दीकी हैं. हमारी board company में Tabba Group है, ICI, Lucky Cement Hall. हम नहीं undergrad के, हम बच्चों को नहीं वो करना चाहते. आप हमारी companies के लिए leadership के programs कराएं. We won't let you launch undergrad program. Undergrad program, anybody who knows the business model of a university is where the money comes in. So now that's not my circle of influence anymore, because board tells me plainly on my face, your job, young man, उनके हिसाब से young man, आपके हिसाब से बुढ़ा हूँ, is to do, our job is to envision, your job is to execution, right? They told me in my face. So now, what can I do? This is the diagram that I drew, the first one, second one तो खैर कुछ पर एक साल बाद नजर आ रहा है. मैंने कहा देखो जो हम कर सकते हैं ना इस ग्रीन सर्कल में, we would get every damn thing right. We would do whatever it takes. हुआ एक साल में नतीजा ये हुआ कि students doubled, new programs came up, ICAP start offering के हम अपने students आपके पास अपने ICAP के professionals भेजना चाहते हैं जिनको accounting तो आती है लेकिन strategy नहीं आती, marketing नहीं आती, operations नहीं आती, interpersonal skills नहीं आती, right? NLE वाले हैं, अब बहुत सारी चीजें हमें वो masters level पे ही हमने conceive करनी शुरू कर दी, जिसकी larger alhamdulillah, hopefully we would take the red circle entirely at one point in time. Number one. Number two, so we are talking about, to this extent, vision, having a high stretch vision and having a belief in it. Right? The second part, you know, it's not going to happen automatically. Next slide. It's not going to happen automatically. So Jim Collins, in his research, talks about will or resolve. What does that mean? Azam in Urdu, determination in English, right? इन लोगों की खासियत ये थी कि इनकी iron made resolve थी, और एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट है इसमें. Have you heard of Stockdale paradox? Jim Stockdale was आपसे connected हुआ Bahria से, naval officer, US naval officer, who ended up in the jail of Vietnam. अच्छा, जेल ऑफ वियतनाम में दो हो सकते हैं, या तो आपको अच्छा जिस तरह से भूखा रखा जाता है, जिस तरह से आपको जुल्म होता है प्रिजनर्स ऑफ वॉर कैंप में, मैं आपको उसकी वो भी दिखाता हूँ ये सामने आपके. तो वो जुल्म जो है उसके बाद दो हालत होती है, या तो इंसान हेलुसिनेटेड हो जाता है. हेलुसिनेटेड तो मतलब कहता है बस अब वो पता नहीं अब हो गया, ओनली ऑप्टिमिस्टिक हो जाता है, और ही बिकम्स totally pessimistic. He gives up on life. Stockdale concept. Next slide. Stockdale concept दो चीजों की बात करता है very close. At the same time, you have to have two things. ये जुमला है, you believe, faith, that you will prevail in the end. हालांकि current reality जो है वो totally devastating है. Yet you have a belief that you will prevail in the end. ये जितने बड़े लीडर्स थे, इनकी ये स्टॉकडेल रिजॉल्व थी. ये स्टॉकडेल, लेकिन साथ साथ दूसरी चीज, with the discipline, they are not hallucinated, they are not delusioned. They have a clear idea about the current reality's brutal side. कहते हैं हम जो फेस कर रहे हैं, oh, this is shocking, this is somewhere like कि आपने गलत एग्जाम की तैयारी की, एक हफ्ता पहले एक दिन पहले आपको चला कि एग्जाम ये वाला था और अगले दिन आपको एग्जाम दे. और स्टॉकडेल कॉन्सेप्ट क्या होगा, आपको पता होगा कि यार जो मैं चाहता हूँ, जो मैंने नियत की है, जो मेरा कैरेक्टर है, आई विल मेक इट. बट द रियलिटी यू आर फेसिंग इज दिस थिक अ बुक दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड मास्टर बिफोर विदिन नेक्स्ट 13-14 hours. Now these two things combined together gives you an edge over all the others. एक बड़ी जबरदस्त बात मैंने देखी रिसर्च की एक दफा जाके कि यार क्या चीज है जो रियली सेट अपार्ट करती है सुपर लीडर्स फ्रॉम मीडियोकर लीडर्स, एक्सीलेंट लीडर्स फ्रॉम एवरेज लीडर्स. इट टर्न्ड आउट इफ इट इज कैप्चर्ड इन वन वर्ड, इट इज ग्रिट. व्हाट डज ग्रिट मीन? टेनेसिटी, रेजिलियंस. टूटते नहीं आप आसानी से, चुपते नहीं आप आसानी से, वेवर नहीं हो जाते आप आसानी से. You stick to what you have, the values that you have, the vision that you have, right? तो ये essential चीजें, it's part of character. लेकिन मैं character को आगे आइएगा, character को अलग से भी highlight करूंगा यहाँ पे. Even though even the second or the first thing actually are in a, if you look at holistically, it would turn out that those are also part of character. But then I'm focusing on character in a separate way, because character is what, if you look at the management, look at the leadership literature, it turns out that trust is one thing that all great leaders command in their colleagues and their subordinates. They have belief in him, they have trust in him. Let's look at some of the research that has been done. Again, this is Jim Collins. he mentions a style of leadership which is called level 5 leadership. It is a combination of two things: humility and will. Will is the same thing that we talked about: resolve, resolution, determination, azm. Allah Ta'ala ने भी कुरान शरीफ में 6 नबियों को pick out किया है as having the greatest resolve. Rasul Hazrat Ibrahim, Hazrat Musa, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hazrat Isa, ये सारे लोग आए और इनकी रेजोल्यूशन जो थी वो far above, and उनका भी रैंक अंबिया में भी ऊपर है, दर्जात इनकी ऊंचे हैं. वजह resolve, resolution, will. लेकिन दूसरा पार्ट बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगा. मैंने जब पहली दफा ये रिसर्च पढ़ी जिम कॉलिंस की, तो I was fascinated by the other part. Now this is something that really helped in my first day that I learned this quote. Allah Taala की मेहरबानी कि मैंने ये quote पहले ही पढ़ ली. ये किताब है कि जिम Michael Watkins की The First 90 Days. So I was lucky to find this. One of my friends recommended it to me. किसी भी नए assignments, किसी भी नई जॉब से पहले, बल्कि पहली जॉब से पहले, I would strongly recommend that all of you should read it. Michael Watkins की The First 90 Days. उसका कैप्शन है American president gets 100 days to prove himself, you get just 90. उसमें उसने बहुत से ट्रिक्स बताई जिससे मुझे अपने पहले 3 महीने में really help me out. For example, एक टिप ये है कि you must have some early victories. ठीक है, और मैंने बहुत पुश किया अपनी for example स्टूडेंट्स को कि यार अपने हाथ से टीम पिकअप की, उनको नर्चर किया, सब कुछ किया ताकि वो पहली दफ़ा में उसमें CFA चैलेंज जीत जाए. This was one thing that hooked us up बोर्ड की नज़रों में. और वो दूसरी चीज़ें, एक और उसमें एडवाइस ये थी कि बिल्ड अ नेटवर्क ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स. तो मैंने ये किया, जितने बोर्ड मेंबर्स थे उनसे उनके ऑफिसर्स में जाके मिलना शुरू किया, उनको विजन का पार्ट बनाना शुरू किया, उनको कॉन्फिडेंस और ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करना शुरू किया. Right? So very useful. Can you even, it's just like, can you run a car, an airplane or a shuttle without fuel? Without any fuel? Of course not. Can you achieve anything in life? Can you run yourself? Can you fly? Can you take off without motivation? No. Motivation is like fuel for you. And motivation is a function of basically two things. Again, the word is want. How desperately I want something. How desperately do I want something? ये एक चीज है. But this is multiplied by my belief about chances that I can achieve it. My belief about chances that I can achieve it. So let's say I want something desperately. I want to be a CEO of a top company, or I want to be a public servant serving the humanity, serving the nation. But the view that I have of the self-image that I have of myself, the second part. So I do desperately want it. But here, I think I cannot ever get it. Chances are 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is? 0. My motivation is hence 0. Sometimes we believe something, we can take something, but we don't believe, we don't feel the worth of it, right? I remember then I used to watch some movies. This was, I don't know, Dumb Number, Jim Carrey. So he was like, he was in love with a girl, and she would not pay any attention. And she would say, why are you wasting my time? She would just snub him, So he asked, do you think I have any chance? And she says, maybe 1 in a million. And this guy goes like, yeah. Why? Because the upper coefficient, how desperately I want something, was so high that even multiplied by 0.0001, it came down to a huge number. So you have to have that belief. You have to have raised up that second coefficient. There's no problem with the first one. We want something in life. Yes, we aim for it. But what pushes us down, what keeps us, what holds us back? He's basically, no, this is too big for me. Somehow किसी तरह से आपने बड़ा अपने आप को कन्विंस करके जब ले ली और लोगों से मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ और इसके लिए मैं प्रिपरेशन भी कर रहा हूँ. It's not Sheikh Chili's dream. It's taking real steps, because the difference between Sheikh Chili's dream is, you can always dream it and do nothing about it. But true destination, true vision is something that you start working on. You start taking small steps towards it. Right? Research shows that those people who conceive something as a vision, they are likely to be high achievers. Companies के बारे में आता है, Walmart ने विजन बनाया, ये उस जमाने में कोई भी नहीं थी जो $100 billion कंपनी हो. 90s में उन्होंने विजन बनाया, 80s 90s में we want to be the first $100 billion company revenue के accordingly in the whole world. Seemed impossible at that time. What happened? It did become, and guess what? Today, which is the company, somebody asked you, which company is the biggest in terms of revenues? Walmart. When there was hardly any car on the roads, hardly any automobile on the roads, usually these were unpaved roads, cluttered by horse carts. At that time, a gentleman by the name of Henry Ford came up with a vision that by the time I'm done, this automobile would be affordable even for the middle class. And you would see that these horse carts are gone. At that time, people usually used to think these guys, usually visionaries, most people think, Pagal. So he doesn't have an idea. So these are people who say that, these are people who are living according to predictions. They believe that this is going to happen and we are powerless individuals. Among those, if somebody rises up, has that belief, starts working towards it, he is a total unique entity. Right? So the first part is having a vision. If we can switch back. So if the problem is here, you don't have belief in yourself. You don't feel that this is attainable. Right? If you don't feel that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you will never be able to achieve. If you believe in it, that too is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You'll be able to achieve it. और कभी-कभी क्या होता है हमारे past experience हमें hold back करते हैं. Analogy देते हैं, authors analogy देते हैं that an elephant, when it's a baby elephant, जब उसके पाँव को tie कर दिया जाता है cord से, tries very hard to break it, but somehow he is not able to emancipate him from that cord. Guess what happens? When he grows up, even though now his strength is such that अगर वो झटका भी मारेगा वो cord टूट जाएगी, but he doesn't ever dare. Why? Because this belief has been so hardly punched in and impressed on his brain that no way can you break this cord. So this is the inspiring vision. आइए वापस आइएगा. ये लाइट बंद कर दीजिए. So they achieved 96% with these strategies just in a single year. This is the Cuban literacy campaign. Next slide. Now what happens? What happens is that, imagine, how many of you feel powerless in a certain circle and you feel powerful in a certain circle? Right? What happens is that this green part, circle of influence, is what you can change a little bit, what you can tweak a little bit. You have a bigger red area, the circle of concern. You feel that you cannot do much about it. But this is still your circle of concern. How many of you feel the garbage bin that is spread all around us in Karachi, with that plastic and all, with that gutter water and all? That's a circle of concern. Isn't that a circle of concern? अच्छा आपके लिए शायद मैं जो 4 साल यूएस में रहा, फिर लाहौर इतना डिफेंस हुआ कि मैं तो आकर के पहले वो तो अल्लाह का शुक्र अदा करता हूँ 2012 में जब वापस आया लाहौर, 10 साल में कोई ऐसा नहीं था मैं कराची नहीं आता था, कराची रह नहीं था यूएस में, और फिर 6 साल नम्स में जब मैं आया तो पहला तो मुझे नहीं लेते तो मोबाइल फोन ही निकाल सकते गाड़ी में. अब वो किसी का सर्कल ऑफ कंसर्न, सर्कल ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस में आया और मैं अल्लाह का करोड़ शुक्र अदा करता हूँ कि things have changed. Things have changed since then. 2012 में जब मैं आया था, I used to freak out when I used to walk out. And things have changed now. While we're setting it up, let's start a conversation here. How many of you do aspire to be leaders in your life? Just by show of hands. Do you have even an intention to become a leader? Huh? Girls को तो फिर भी हैं, boys तो अच्छा, by the way, for doing anything, what's the first step? What is the first step in taking up any challenge? That's part. The greatest of the achievements starts with one single step. And the beginning of everything is something called, as she mentioned, niyat, right? Intention. So if you don't make an intention, you don't have a vision, absolutely nothing is, as they say in English, that if you don't even intend to shoot, it's 100% miss. It's 100% miss. Right? And believe me, from my experience of teaching at these schools, interacting with corporate executives, managers, looking at the history of this nation, I can say with conviction that the problem is not talent, the problem is not skill, the problem is not resources, the problem is that we never make an intention. We never start looking at things that we don't even have the belief that we can ever change anything in our life. We can ever change anything around us, right? So what I'm going to do in this brief presentation, out of all of the hundreds of traits of top leaders, I'm just going to focus on the top three, right? And again, if you don't have an intention, you don't have the capacity to even benefit from this. थोड़ा तकल्लुफ़ करके, थोड़ा सा पुश करके अपने आप को कम से कम दिल में, मुझे दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है, एक नियत कर लें, what if this presentation does inspire me? It does act like a catalyst and does change my intentions and give me the resolve. So give it a chance. It may revive your faith in yourself. It may revive the faith in your nation, in Pakistan. Right? This is what we need from the youth today. 70% of the population of Pakistan is 30 and below. If you don't instill those characters, those traits that are designed for success in this new generation, we are doomed. So just give me a chance and just give it a shot. Just give it the room that, well, I'll make an intention to become a leader, because we are looking for leaders. We are facing a huge scarcity, dearth for leaders. And I used to teach it alone, but for the past 1 year I've been the dean. It's almost my anniversary this month that I've taken up as a dean. Now I can speak with some of my insights from my experience also. Right? So if you can listen to me for not more than half an hour, a little bit concentration, I believe it's going to perhaps be a game changer for you. I have a conviction. Okay, now the first ingredient of a leader is that he comes up with something that touches the heart of the people around him. What was that Qaid-e-Azam came up with? What was that? In fact, he was the one who was spearheading that vision, right? Maybe Allama Iqbal and others brought up that. One of the craziest things historians write was that it made sense to the people of Punjab and Sindh, and Bengal to gather behind him, muster behind him, because they would be getting land. They would know that Hindus would leave their property. It doesn't make sense to the people of UP and Bihar and Hyderabad, Indian Hyderabad, and Indian Punjab to rally behind Qaid-e-Azam. Why would they? So my father happens to be from that generation. Before that, he distinctly recalls that when he was a kid from UP, in the lanes of UP, which is Hindu-dominated region, right now the size of UP in terms of population is bigger than Pakistan. So that time they used to say, "Bad ke rahega Pakistan, bad ke rahega Hindustan." Pakistan ka matlab kya laaya? So what was that? It was inspiring. It was touching the heart of the people, right? Similarly, MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. You've heard about. I have a dream, right? I have a dream that my generations would not be judged by the color of their skin. They will be judged by the content of their character. These words were magical, and they inspired the whole nation, not just the black people, the entire nation, including the white people, most of them, right? So these somehow the leadership starts with coming up with a picture of the future that touches the heart of all the people around. Everybody is kind of, it electrifies them. It electrifies them, So if you're working for such a leader, for such a vision, you would not find waking up in the morning, because every time you wake up, immediately the picture of the future will flash back in front of you. And you see, oh, this is what I'm waking up for. This is what I'm going to fight for. This is what I'm going to work hard for. Right? Now that is not something that's being imposed on you. That's not something, oh my God, I got to do that. Oh, I have to take that test. Oh, I have to, appear in those exams. Oh, I have to give that speech. No, the conversation, the language, the whole, the structure of the sentence changes and becomes, well, I choose to do it. I'm motivated to do it. I'm determined to do it. Right? So this is the story with the inspiring vision. Now, I'd like to make a subtle distinction here between something called vision and something called prediction. Ibrahim used to do it, invite people over. लेकिन अगर कोई नहीं होता तो मैं इस तरह लंच वंच पे एक कोई स्पीच देख रहा होता हूँ किसी इंस्पायरिंग लीडर या लीडरशिप ग्रुप. So that helps me a lot. Howard Schultz की स्पीच है 10 principles of success, जरूर देखिएगा. Simon Sinek की स्पीच है about millennials, which all of you I believe are. How to get out of that zone. Think about it. Text-based, very narrow, Pakistan will do. And talk to economists, speak that language. Right? This is what prediction is. This is what prediction is. But what is vision? I don't want Pakistan to be like that. I don't want Pakistan. I want Pakistan to be successful. Prediction, Karachi, this is one of the most unlivable cities on the face of earth. The most polluted, the dirtiest city on the face, the filthiest cities on the face. Prediction? You've talked on this perhaps, or already perhaps you've talked on as a person. So this is it. I think, I hope you can borrow something. A few books that I would recommend you to read, must read. Right? Obviously we talk about Stephen Covey's. It's hard to read at this stage. लेकिन बीच में से भी आप कभी पढ़ लें. The best way I do it is कि मैं एक दो किताबें अपने सरहाने रखता हूँ और आमतौर पे सोने से पहले 10-15 मिनट की रीडिंग हो जाती है, तो वो आपके लिए इंटेलेक्चुअली रिवॉर्डिंग भी होता है और रिजुविनेटिंग भी होता है. ये गुड टू ग्रेट इज अ वेरी गुड बुक. यू मस्ट रीड दैट बुक. लेवल 5 लीडरशिप भी आती है, इसमें बाकी चीजें भी आती हैं. एडम ग्रांट की किताब है कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग के लिए, गिव एंड टेक. एडम ग्रांट जो है ये बॉटम का प्रोफेसर है, ये भी किताब आई है. One of the best advice that I got personally in my life was when I was at LUMS, and the dean there, Dr. Javed Ghani, told me, Zeeshan, as my mentor, he told me, Zeeshan, when it comes to giving back to your employer or anybody, make sure you give 110%. And when it comes to taking from the others and employers especially, just be happy with 90%. क्योंकि वो लोग ही ऐसे नहीं होते हैं, आसपास कोई होते नहीं ऐसा, तो आप सबकी नजरों में ऊंचे राइज कर जाते हैं. राइट? तो गिव एंड टेक का पंच लाइन एक हद तक ये है, एंड देन यू कैन रीड द बुक. एक और किताब है, मुझे पूरा ऑथर का नाम नहीं याद आ रहा है, बिल्कुल नहीं आई है अभी. मैं मालदीव्स में कॉन्फ्रेंस वापस आकर मैंने डिस्कवर की इमोशनल एजिलिटी बाय सूजन समथिंग. मगर इसका आई हैवंट रेड द बुक होम, मगर जो हम इमोशनल ट्रैप्स में फंस जाते हैं इसकी वजह से हम पीछे हट जाते हैं, डिप्रेस होते हैं, पेसिमिस्टिक होते हैं. How to get out of this? She makes a premise that it's all about your emotional state, your level of achievement, what you're capable of achieving. It's all about your emotional state. Okay, with this homework assigned, I'll finish off my talk. Thank you for listening.